I honestly feel like this may be the best year of original documentaries. Checking out this documentary that I'm review in a second, it kind of left me utterly speechless. But we got a review to do, so I'm going to jump into it. So let's talk about the new documentary, Aftershock. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're reviewing the documentary Aftershock, coming to Hulu July 19th. Now, I'm just going to start off by saying this is one you absolutely have to watch. And it's a couple of reasons I say that. One is because it's relevant right now. And, sometimes you watch documentaries, or your idea or, your expectation of a documentary is possibly talking about something that happened years ago. But the events of this documentary is taking us to 2019, 2020, and literally happening today. And with everything that's happening in society today, makes this even more relevant. So it's very, very impactful, very moving, very informative, and it's without a doubt something that you stop what you're doing, take an hour and 30 minutes of your day, get on Hulu and check out Aftershock, without a doubt. Now, talking about the substance of this documentary is the epidemic of maternal mortality and morbidity, which is something that I have to say knew mildly about. But this documentary was so eye-opening, so heartfelt, just moving, powerful, but sad, and through the sadness you see courage and strength. So you're gonna have all the emotions in watching this, but beyond that, it's just something that everybody should be aware of, that is happening today, right now, all around us. I just want to start off by saying October 2019, 30-year-old Shamani Gibson tragically died after being ignored by medical providers 13 days following the birth of her son. April 2020, 26-year-old Amber Rose Eiselt died due to an emergency C-section that the family says stemmed from medical negligence. That's just two people. There's a lot of others named. And again, this comes from the epidemic of maternity mortality and morbidity. Now, let's just talk about the facts here. Risks are almost double for Black women in terms of maternal mortality. And you're going to get so many more factual statements in this. And that's just a small piece of the information they're going to give you, because they get very, very with the data, the statistics, with testimonies, and all sorts of different references and viewpoints about these things. This ain't something that people are just making up or trying to sway a narrative of some sort, or talk about isolated incidents. No, this is something that's been happening historically for years, and it's really, really sad to say that the risk for Black women having kids was actually less for our parents than it is now, which means there's this whole idea of regaining control and this, as I said, this negligence, and the statistics are always higher when it comes to Black women, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Black women. So, it hits me different. And I got friends that are Black mothers, and I see Black women all over the place, because they are, they're part of our society and our humanity, and they should not be ignored. And it's just a sad thing to think that, statistically, that their rate of dying is almost double than anyone else. And that follows the same suit for people of color as well, not just Black women, but people of color, and there's that, and the fact that you get the perspective of this from two fathers who's sharing their heartbreaking story of this systematic racism in the healthcare system is just, you know, I can really go really like long-winded on this, but like, you know, as black men, you know, we're supposed to be strong and we're not supposed to show emotions. These two black fathers sharing their story about their partners and just being so raw and real about it and taking that pain and turning it into strength and keeping their partner's name alive is the most emotional thing I've ever seen in a documentary. I just couldn't hold it together because I just could not. The amount of courage that they had and their ability to turn this negative into something positive is just, I don't know. You'll find your words for it, that's for sure. And then, like I said, talking about the history of black women being used as guinea pigs, the neglect in the hospital. What I mean by guinea pigs in terms of medical procedures and C-sections and whatnot, people, you know, trying to test and just learning the history of gynecology and women being tested on for that is a lot. You know, it's a lot that to go into. And this, again, the neglect in the hospitals today and so on. And again, as I said, the black husbands and partners, you know, keeping their partner's honor alive, trying to educate others and prevent this from happening to anybody else is truly, truly powerful and moving. So, you know, with that, you know, we're getting testimony from black men that's lost their partners. We've got women advocates. We got reproductive justice speakers, advocates, activists. You know, you're getting folks of prominent positions to and platforms to speak about what they're seeing and witnesses all around us. And the title Aftershock is because of the after effect from after these women have died. You know, and what does that do throughout the entire society, family, and so on and whatnot. And then, you know, something that was really informative to me was talking about midwives and just the history and importance of them, going all the way back to George Washington and slavery, which was like a really like eye-opening part of like, okay, wow. But like, nonetheless, this documentary is completely emotional. The strength of the folks just looking to make change. And they're doing that through art, through activism, community work, etc. You know, again, people are taking this negative and turning around and making something positive to make change. And again, really powerful. And they want to keep their partners and these victims alive, you know, because, you know, this is how we keep them present, is by, you know, saying their name and making sure that this doesn't happen to anybody else. And the fact that this film is dedicated to them, to the women that lost their lives in the U.S. Maternity health system, is just, again, a very powerful statement and honor to them. So Aftershock, again, you take your hour and 30 minutes out of your day, check this out, and just, you know, come back in the comments and let me know your emotions, your feelings about this. You will be moved. It's super powerful. It's amazing. And again, it's been a fantastic year of good documentaries, and this is just another one that I just really, really enjoyed. But yeah, folks, check it out. Jump in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about it. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.